Hey friends, welcome back to the Riff Tacos podcast. My name is Paul Misko, and in this episode, I got the chance to hang out with Mike Leon, bassist for CKY, formerly of Soulfly, Havok, Cavalera Conspiracy, The Absence. Has had an amazing career touring all over the world, so obviously has some great stories to share, great insights on this life of being a touring musician, which is just insane. But we got into his history of how he got started on bass, his ESP signature series, which is really sick. Came out in 2024, and I honestly think I want to buy one because it's four strings, but it's suited for low tunings, which is the same thing I like on guitar. I don't like playing 7 or 8 strings. I like playing in like drop A, drop B, but on a 6 string. So the longer scale makes it better suited for that. So if you're looking for something like that, check out Mike's signature ESP. And it was funny, right before the episode started, I went on the ESP website to check it out. And he happened to be the featured artist right now, which was just a crazy coincidence. So super stoked for him on that. We talked about what it was like for him getting asked to join CKY in 2025 when that's been one of his favorite bands since he was a teenager. So crazy full circle moment for him. Really cool dude, easy to talk to, and just really enjoyed the episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please remember to subscribe, hit the follow button, hit the like button if there is one, wherever you're listening. If you're on Apple or Spotify, you can leave a rating. And please share the episode with a friend who you think would dig it. So here we go. This is Riff Tacos, episode 41 with Mike Leon. Thank you so much for doing this. I am recording already, so
I see the little red dot.
I had to give a shout out to Joe too for connecting us, Mr. Joe Sidrovic.
Shout out Gorilla Joe, some of his finest work right behind me.
Yeah, those hats are really sick. He came down there to hang out with you guys, right? Deliver some merch.
Yeah, he came out to the festival we were playing in West Virginia. Him and the boys, my buddy Tyler, and God, why am I having I hope I don't have a ton of brain farts right now. I've just got done like working, sending 100 emails today, and my brain is fried with words. So,
dude, I'm the same way.
Do a podcast.
I finish work. Oftentimes, I'll go like change clothes, sit down, hit record, and I'm like, oh my god, how am I gonna make it through this?
I know. Nate, Tyler, and Gorilla Joe.
Nate
boys.
and Tyler are the shit. I love those dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Great crew he's got there. So I was looking at the ESP site because I wanted to check out your signature bass, and I don't know if you know, but you're like the featured artist on the page right now.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty exciting. They told me actually this last Saturday was their 50-year anniversary party, and we went, my wife and I, and Jeff, their head of marketing, came up to me and he was like, "You're our featured artist of the week." And I was like, "Hell yeah." Or I don't know the month or whatever, but it's still very cool.
Yeah, that's sick. And your bass is really sick, dude. When did that come out?
Thank you. I guess the beginning of the year in 2004. We're in our second year of production now.
2024?
Yes. I told you, dude. It's going to be one of those days.
I was like, damn, that was 21 years ago.
21 years ago. Yeah, signature bass when I was 12.
No, it's really sick. And like I've never like sat down and talked with someone who has a signature. So I'd love to hear how that process works, like how you go about it.
Well, I guess we'll start at the beginning. I started playing ESP back in 2007, not 27, 2007. I first started playing them because I saw like all of my heroes were playing ESPs, and like people I looked up to were playing them, and they all looked really cool. And I was like, cool, let me try that. And flash forward through my career, I always was super loyal to the brand. And in 2000, I believe it might have been 2020 or 2019, my rep, Tony Rouser, shout out to the boy, Tony Rouser. He he actually approached me about doing a custom I had been asking about, and he was like, "We're good to go on a custom." So he was like, "What do you want to do?" And I had fallen in love with what's known as the B series, the B1004. I had used for several years leading up to that with Soulfly, and I fell in love with it. Loved everything about it. So basically, we came up with a plan to like heavily modify the X or the B1004, and it ended up being my custom, which is actually right back there. The sandblasted body was something that we did. The pickups, the Nordstrand pickups, are something that are part of what I would say was be my signature sound. And just a few little odds and ends, basically almost like the same thing as a B series, but with like a cool paint job, like a sandblasted body.
I love that
Um,
body.
oh yeah, we love that body.
I do.
And I got to choose the woods that were in the neck. So we did like a rosewood, which was kind of rare at the time. The B series was not using rosewood for their frets. I mean, their neck. So I got to use that. And it's like I think it was Pau Ferro and rosewood and purple heart wenge, and that ended up being the custom. And ESP liked the design so much because I guess they'd never done a sandblasted body on a bass.
Oh,
So they
really?
were like, oh, yeah. And there was like a couple things about it that they hadn't done before. And they were like, this is cool enough to make a production model. And Tony was like, can we make it your signature? And I was like, hell yeah. But we did a couple more modifications to it, an idea that they came up with to kind of help it stand alone on its own. Was it's usually a 4-string bass is only 34-inch scale length.
Mm.
So we made it into a 35-inch scale length because I was playing in standard B and standard A tunings, and that extra scale length and a little bit thicker of a string gauge helps intonate those lower tunings a bit better and make it easier to
Right.
play. And so we implemented that into the production model, and I think we changed the wood a little bit to the fretboard being ebony, so it's like all blacked out, murdered out. Except for the frets, obviously the stainless steel frets, but everything else we tried to get like as dark as possible.
Right.
And we did that, and it became my signature. So now it's been in production for 2 years, and it's doing pretty well. So I love it. I love the way it looks. I think it's super killer because every piece of wood is different. So it's like every piece has its own fingerprint. Every bass is its own fingerprint. No two look exactly the same, and I think that's so cool.
That is really cool. I love that about those. I've been using this ESP 5-string to demo out some songs right now. I'm mostly a guitar player. So I was going to ask you, were you always 4-string? You try 5 before and just decide to stick with
Always.
4?
Well, I started with a 4 because all my heroes were playing 4, like Tim Comerford from Rage and Les Claypool. Well, he was playing a 6 most of the time, but like, he played 4 strings. Justin Chancellor, like all of the good dudes I was looking up to, Flea. So I went with the 4 because it's pretty standard. And then all through my time with Havok, I was playing a 4, and we were in standard E and standard E flat. So it kind of made sense. I was playing more of like the P bass style ones that are like over here in the corner. But then when I joined Soulfly and we went down into those super low tunings, I had like a identity crisis as far as like basses go. And I started playing a 5 because of those lower tunings. I was like, damn, this is weird. But I didn't like it. And I was playing the F series basses, 5 strings, and it wasn't really hitting for me. And then Tony introduced me to the B series, the B1004, and I was like, this is it.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I had a 7-string just because of Corn when I was a teenager, but
Yeah.
ended up going back to the 6-string and just tuning down. But then I had intonation issues and all kinds of shit. So I got the MH1000 baritone so I can stay
Beautiful.
6-string and yeah, with the wider scale. And it just feels better too. Like I have long fucking green bean fingers. So
Green bean fingers. Love that.
it feels more natural. But,
I
and were
have
you
like
always
stubby, like sausage fingers.
all the acronyms?
Food acronyms when describing fingers.
Were you always playing with fingers? Did you ever play with pick?
Yeah, I've always been fingerstyle, always throughout any band I was ever in. I tried to play with a pick. My first like non-classical stringed instrument was a an electric acoustic Ovation guitar, and my dad got me that for Christmas. And he tried to let me play with a pick, and I was trying it. And I just wasn't getting it, dude. And I would be more like uh, fluent, I guess, with my fingers. And he was like, "Well, if you like playing with your fingers, maybe you should try bass, because like you like a lot of bass-driven music, like the Chili Peppers and stuff." So we switched the Ovation for a bass, and I just kept with the fingerstyle always, still to this day.
Yeah, just felt right.
Yep. I've done a few tracks playing with a pick, like very few, maybe three of all of my history playing, but mostly it's fingerstyle, majority.
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, I watched the demo video of your bass, and the tone is just fantastic, and saw you just
Oh yeah.
killing it. Like I am a guitar player, so I'm a pretend bassist sometimes, but when I try to do the finger stuff, I'm just like, I can't. Doesn't make sense to me.
That's how picks are for me. It just doesn't make sense. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do
Yeah.
with this? Because it's like for a pick, I mean, unless you start doing like hybrid picking with your pick and your fingers, which I actually, when I play, I do quite a bit of that. Like the way I see it is that each finger can be a pick, and each finger can be assigned to like a different string, so it helps with like string skipping stuff like that, because your finger, you can hover like right above it and already have that like
True. Yeah.
economic approach to it. Just made sense to me.
When you started, I saw you started out on violin,
That's right.
like back in the day.
Did your research.
I did. You told me, you're like, I have a Wikipedia. Like I'm going straight there.
Yeah. Started with the violin, and then I did the saxophone. Very short-lived career playing the saxophone. And I stuck with the strings, and here I am.
Yeah. I wanted to play saxophone, but I guess there wasn't enough, or there too many saxophone players in the band. So they told me to like try trumpet, and I did that, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. So
Yeah,
I
brass is hard, man.
it is. And saxophone, I'm sure, is way harder. There's so much going on.
Yeah, I didn't really get it. I only started doing that because I switched schools in middle school because we moved, and there was not like an orchestral program in the new school. So I was like, well, band is kind of the same. Maybe I'll try something else and like it. And I hated it. Hated
Yeah.
it. I quit like 3 weeks. Me and my buddy Nick Getler, we were like, I was playing saxophone, he was playing the snare drum, and he like, thought it was going to be cool because we loved like Blink-182, and he wanted to be like Travis Barker. But then like band snare drum is nothing like rock and roll snare drum. So he was like out of it. And I was like, fuck it. As soon as he left, I left right with him.
Right. And how long did you play violin for?
That I kept with for quite a few years. I took it up, I think, in maybe sixth grade, or no, I think it was, yeah, at least a couple years. I think I started in sixth grade in the orchestra, and I kept it going till about seventh grade. It wasn't that long, but I loved it. And I kept it afterwards, and I still played it a little bit. My wife keeps telling me that I should get another one and try it again, but I've lost all of my violin knowledge.
I would love to. It's such a beautiful instrument. Like I always wanted to try it. I don't think I've ever even picked one up really.
It's hard, bro. It's different. The tuning's different. It's pretty crazy. And like the strings are like this. They're not like a flat like a fretboard. They're like arced, and the
Oh, right,
fretboard is
right.
arced too. So you have to kind of like,
That's so
and
strange.
the bow too has to go like that. It's definitely different.
Yeah, I guess is that for the bow because you have to kind of aim at the strings so you have that rounded.
Yeah. Yep. It's
That
rounded so
makes
you can
sense.
focus on each one.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
cool.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'd love to try it one day, but I never did. I
Never
don't
too
think
late.
yeah, that's true. I should probably master guitar first. I've been playing that for 25 years.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah. Are you all self-taught on bass and guitar? Did you take lessons?
Yeah. I mean, I've jammed with a couple of my friends in the past, and I've done a little bit of reading up on some literature, and obviously like watched YouTube videos and stuff like that, but never like sat down and did like a theory lesson or exercises really. It's just all was mostly from ear, and I just got started when I was super young. Like I was already touring when I was 19, and when I was 20 I did my first like US tour, and I just kind of stayed busy that whole time. So
Yeah. Did you ever have an interest in going back and like learning to read music or trying to add some of that theory to your natural like instinct?
all the time. I'm still trying to find the time to do it, and I would love to do it. I've talked to a few friends that do lessons, and I'm like, if I have a spare hour somewhere in my bag of hours, but I don't. Usually,
Yeah.
I'm just like all the time.
Yeah, I was the same way. I picked it up just because the drummer in our band, he played guitar in front of me when I was like I don't remember how old, and he borrowed my neighbor's guitar, and like that's when it clicked. I had tried like the trumpet and didn't like that. Thought about playing snare in the band, and I saw him play guitar, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do.
Right.
So like I started young. I took a few lessons and then just stuck with like learning how to play off a record and learning by ear. And then I kind of
Yeah.
got stuck in that like mindset of like, well, if I start learning things, then maybe I'll sound like everybody else and it'll take away my unique, sound. Then I fight with that and I go, but I should know more.
There's always room for improvement, man. There's so much knowledge when it comes to music and instruments. Like, but that's cool. You
Yeah.
had that like that thought process of like, oh, I don't want to be like everybody else.
Yeah, because like you go to any music store, every guy like playing to me, they all sounded the same. They're playing the same songs, and I was just like, I was like, I want to sound like Corn or Soulfly or
There you go.
like weird shit. I listened to Limp Bizkit and like came up in the new metal days. Like
Same.
what was your first? Yeah, like you said you listened to Chili Peppers and shit when you're younger.
Yeah, my family, they listen to a lot of music in our household, but nobody ever was like a player. But there was so much music in my house. Like my dad was more into the stuff like Grand Funk Railroad and Van Halen and Sabbath and stuff like that, Led Zeppelin. And then my mom was listening to a lot more of like the pop stuff. Like I don't know if it's 80s pop stuff like that, like Peter Gabriel and stuff like that. Tears for Fears was always something like that. But yeah, I loved all of it, Chili Peppers and stuff like that. But then I started finding my own bands, and I got into like the rock bands like Rage Against the Machine and Tool, Primus, stuff like that. Metallica started coming along. Then I got into more like the metal stuff like Slayer and CKY actually was one of my first loves of music, which is a whole crazy thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Um, but truly, like they were my favorite band growing up. CKY was.
Wow.
When I finally found them, I was like, "Whoa, this does not sound like anything else," and that's what I loved about it. And I felt like I found them when they were very relatively unknown, and I love that. Like music that doesn't sound like other music, and not a lot of people know about it. Like one of my great joys in life is showing people new music that they have not heard before, and I did that a ton with CKY, and it's just really a crazy whole circle that we're on here.
Yeah, like what would like year 2000 you say if you could go back now and be like, "Hey, I'm in the band now."
I think about that often, and I get that question a lot from my friends and family and everybody, and I just still don't know the answer. It's just like unbelievable. Like literally, your all of your dreams are gonna come true.
Yeah, and you just
It's
never see
cool.
it coming. That's crazy.
No, I
But I
did
mean,
not know.
you've been putting in work for so many years though. You've had an awesome career, and Havok, Soulfly, The Absence was your first like major band, right?
That's right.
So you when going back to like you getting into bass and guitar, did you start out on guitar and then switch to bass, or like what landed you on bass eventually?
I never played it with any. I didn't play guitar long enough to like do anything with it. So when I started joining bands, I was playing bass. Was always playing bass, like the Absence guys. Well, I guess that's actually kind of not true. I played a lot of bass and I wasn't getting into any bands, and I kind of got bored because I saw everybody, all my friends were playing in bands, and I was like, fuck, what the fuck? Am I allowed to cuss? I didn't even ask.
Yeah, yeah,
What
whatever.
what the darn? Eh. So like I got kind of frustrated with bass, and at the same time that was happening, I found Children of Bodom and fell in love with Alexi Lyle, and I was like, I want to do that. But my fingers were like, you can't. So I tried for a little while, and I had met the guys in the absence of my buddy Jamie. We were hanging around a lot, and he didn't even know I played bass until one day we were like smoking weed in the garage, and I busted out an acoustic bass with some buddies and started playing Anesthesia from Metallica. And he was like, "Wait a second, you play bass?" And I was like, "I'm definitely more of a bass player than a guitar player." And at that time, he was like, "We need a bass player right now. Why don't you come practice? Like, learn these 3 songs." And I did, and that was it. Next thing you know, I tried out. We played like 3 or 4 shows around Florida, and a month later, we were on tour with Cannibal Corpse and Black Dahlia Murder, Red Chord, and Goat Whore. That was my first tour.
Holy shit. That is
Yep.
an amazing first tour.
Straight to the wolves, baby.
No
So
shit.
crazy.
What did that feel like? Never doing it before
Um,
that.
I had done like some weekend warrior stuff where it was like all of my friends in a van with all the gear in the van with no air conditioning, like going up to Georgia from Florida and back. And that was the extent of it. So like on my first tour, like the second time I ever left the state, my home state, the first show we played was at the House of Blues in New Orleans in the French Quarter. And it was with that tour package. It was the Metal Blade 25th anniversary tour. And I was so green, dude. I look back on that and I had probably embarrassed myself like on a hourly basis because it was like, a bunch of like legends that have been doing it forever. And, I kicked it a lot with my guys, but a couple of guys in the band, the absence were like a lot older and we didn't really mesh that well. But I did get to hang with the Black Dahlia Murder dudes. Those were my guys. Like Ryan Williams was in the band back then, and my buddy Trevor, represent, rest in peace. It was those 2 guys literally, and Shannon, also the drummer of Black Dahlia. They were all really cool to me and very welcoming. Like, I had literally just got my braces off like 2 weeks before we went on the tour, and I
Holy
was like,
shit.
"Let's go on tour, guys!" And they were like, "Oh my god, this is a kid." It was like, it was crazy, but it was cool, man. It was really cool.
You were what age?
I had just turned 20 in
Shit.
2007.
That's crazy. I mean, no better way to learn though, because we all got to go through that and fuck up and like do the stupid shit.
Yeah. I did so many stupid things, and like I learned so much on that tour, dude, that I still think about all the time. Like, techniques, playing wise, and just like surviving on the road. It's a good way to break your teeth is just to go straight into it, like right into the deep end, learn how to swim.
Yeah. What would you say was the best like survivor skill you learned?
Baby wipes, all of the baby wipes, baby wipe
Yeah.
shower, baby wipe for number twos, baby wipe, just everything. Stay clean on tour because you don't want to get sick.
Yep. I forget who it was. Someone we were on tour with. Maybe it was a European tour, but they would buy enough socks for the entire tour and just throw a pair away every day. So you never had to
That's
always had clean socks. Yeah.
yeah.
I never ended up doing that. I wish I did. Hey friends, if you're enjoying the show, quick reminder to hit the subscribe button and like the episode on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please follow the show and leave a quick rating. It really helps me out a lot. And if you know someone who'd enjoy it, please share the episode with them too. Thanks so much. All right, back to it.
Derek Boyer from Suffocation taught me that, and I did it for a little while, but then I was just like, this is expensive. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. In Europe, it makes sense because laundry over there is kind of like not the same. But in the U.S., like you could find a good laundromat and just put a couple extra scoops of, you know, Gain or whatever the hell you're washing your clothes with. Like, yeah, these are like radioactive. Get them in.
Yeah, I mean, it feels weird. I hate like being wasteful too. Like throwing away a perfectly good pair of socks would feel weird to me every day.
Yeah, plus I like nice socks. I've learned that over the year. Like, you gotta buy good socks. If you buy good socks and you change them regularly and you wipe your feet down with baby wipes after a show, it's just like any day when you're at home. Just wash them things, you know? Don't let your laundry get like a Santa Claus bag, you know? Be responsible.
Yeah.
Wash it like once a week, you know? Come on, guys.
Do you what was your first tour bus experience like?
Tour bus?
Yeah.
Insane. Now that I think of it, that's a good question. I've never been asked that before. I always did vans up until I joined Havok, and we did a European tour. It was the first time I ever went to Europe. We did a tour with it was Havok, Fallujah, Cephalic Carnage, and Suffocation, and we all shared a bus.
Oh
And it
wow.
was just like one of those double deckers with the whole top thing was just all bunks, and the downstairs was like the party lounge. And God damn, we partied on that tour, dude. So many, dude. Like, cause like all those dudes, everybody on the bus smokes tons of weed. Denver guys, Cephalic Carnage, Havok, and then Suffo. Like, we just partied, dude, partied. And on that tour, John Gallagher from Dying Fetus was doing vocals for Suffocation. So he brought some
Nice.
of that Baltimore energy, and we were just, dude, we was just late nights, long days, dude. Like, it was really crazy.
Yeah. The that I had the same exact experience. The only time we had a tour bus was the first time in Europe. It was a double decker with All Shall Perish, Walls of Jericho. Who else was on it? Freya. Um,
Jeez.
but yeah, we were definitely on the bus with All Shall Perish and Jericho. Same thing, like just drinking all night long, staying up till the
Yeah.
sun came up, and I was just like, this might not ever happen again, so I'm taking full advantage. I
That's
remember
what you have to do, man.
one night we were up so late, drinking, the sun was up, and we drove by Stonehenge. And someone's pointing it out
Oh,
the window,
hey.
like wasted.
Look at that.
Like, man, like the first time in Europe was one thing too, but doing it on a bus and like, yeah, it's like just crazy life experiences most people don't get to have. Very thankful for.
Yeah. You have to revel in those moments because, like, as you said, a lot of people don't even get to experience that. And even if you get to do it once, is take full advantage.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say when you were you were in Havok, was it like 2013 to 15? I think I saw.
Yep.
Did you do a tour with the Casualties with them?
My first tour was that one with Casualties and Goat Whore.
Okay, so I was living in LA at the time. I saw you then with Havok. Uh,
What? At the
my
whiskey, maybe. Or wait, no, it wasn't the whiskey. It was like this weird little warehouse, wasn't it? Like a
Yes.
weird with train tracks in the back.
Yeah, I was asking my girlfriend if she could remember because Havok. I was like, I remember we saw Havok somewhere, and then I saw you were only in the band for 2 years. I was like, I wonder if it was in that window, and then it was.
Yes.
And she was like, I think it was at a warehouse. So that's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
This is so crazy, dude, because like I just was talking about this exact same show with my buddy Tony Rouser from
Whoa,
ESP. And I was like, what's he remembered the name, and I cannot remember the name. But a fun fact, that same day, we did a photo shoot behind the venue on those train tracks, and it ended up being like the album photo for the bifold Havok Unnatural Selection vinyl and the CD. It was
sick.
like part of the artwork, yeah, that day.
That's so crazy.
There was like a dog turd next to Pete's foot, and we had to like Photoshop it out. We didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah, my girlfriend is a huge Casualties fan, so I think she found the show, and I was like, Havok, I've heard them, and I like checked out your music, and then I was like, sick, like let's go, and so I was like, yep, definitely saw you that day. That's wild.
Wild. So cool. That was a good era of the band for sure. Full of energy back then.
Yeah, there's like I was jamming some of that earlier today, that record, because that was the only record you were on, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, really good shit, high energy.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, that was one of the I think still maybe to this day, I think the new Igor album might take the crown for this for like my favorite bass sound on an album. But yeah, that album was mixed by Terry Date and mastered by James Murphy. So that was a really killer experience working with those guys.
What's been like? I mean, you've done a lot of records, been in these legendary bands. What would you say was your favorite like studio experience?
Easy. Working with Gutier, Sere from Igor. Super, super way at the top. Like, uh, we did this last record, Amen, and I did 5 tracks. He reached out to me like a few years ago and was like, "Hey, would you like to do some more tracks?" Because we worked together on this album, Spirituality and Distortion, and I did a track called Paranoid Bulldozer Italiano, track number 11. And but I did that one. I recorded it while on tour with Soulfly in a dressing room in Reading, Pennsylvania. And so this time around, he was like, let's try to do it for real. And no, sorry, Soulfly was about to be touring in Europe, so I flew out about a week early. My wife and I flew out to France, and we went to Gutier's house, and we tracked all 5 of the songs in his studio. And dude, we laughed so goddamn hard, man. It was such a good time. Like we were recording this very serious music. Like it was some of the darkest songs on the album, but damn, bro, I had a blast. We were just laughing super hard and like eating anchovies on our lunch break, and like it was so cool. It was just a really cool experience. Like, and we slept in the studio, like my wife and I. And now there's all these like behind the scenes videos, and it's like, oh look, it's our bedroom in France. So
That's
it's like
so
it was just really cool, man. I love working with Gutier. He's like one of my best friends, I would say, I've made in this world, in this industry for sure. And yeah, that was number one for sure, easily.
yeah. Do you like something our band has always had is when you're writing something and something comes together like so magically, we all would start cracking up. Like it's so good you laugh. Is that
Oh
something
yeah,
that would happen for you guys?
oh yeah. There was this. I forget which song it was on because they all had like different working titles. But he was like, "Let's make. We have to put the ugliest note possible right here." And I literally just like put all of my fingers on the fretboard and like got stiff, and I just like raked it. And he was like, "That's the one." It's just like, like it was supposed to be the most dissonant, ugliest note possible, and I think we found it.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, those moments are the best when everyone at the same time realizes like holy shit, something really special just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, something that was not planned, something that wasn't planned and it just ended up coming out right. And you all look at each other like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit moment.
What's your like personal approach to writing bass parts like when you're working with a band? Is it very per band or style or
Most definitely. Like when I work with Igor, Gautier has pretty much like the blueprint already kind of figured out. And there's a little room for wiggle room, but he like Leonardo da Vinci, dude. He like paints his music. So he's already kind of figured out which colors he wants to use. And we stay pretty much within the boundaries of that. And sometimes something may sound good, in a demo, but then it's like something may, we might find a new way to approach it in the studio, and maybe like a more laid back approach where we're not like doubling as many notes or matching as much. Maybe it hits harder when we're just like sitting back and doing single note, like big notes, and letting the rest of the music breathe. There was a lot of that. But when it comes to like writing stuff, like for the absence, that was stuff that I got to write mostly from scratch with those guys. And I always take the approach of, okay, so like the drums are always rhythm centric, and then the guitars are very melodic. And you have to, as a bass player, I think it's very important for you to find that balance in between, because you like bass has the melodic approach, obviously, as a stringed instrument, but it's also percussive. So you got to like time your hits with the drums, and then also like make sure you're in like a cool key with the guitars. But that doesn't necessarily mean like I don't I really try not to like match what the guitars are doing, because if you do that, then it's just like why it's just like guitar with another tone.
Mhm.
I like to have like my bass parts kind of stand out a little bit. So I always say like sometimes you hold them and sometimes you fold them. And I think that comes from listening to guys like Dave Ellison is a big influence for me when it comes to like writing bass lines, because Megadeth stuff is super busy melodically, but like sometimes he's like back in just the pocket, and then he flexes with a little melodic run, and then he kind of sits back while Dave is going crazy, or like maybe choosing a few notes here and there to like hit with, so it kind of does like a call and respond kind of a vibe. There's all those little tricks that you can do as a bass player when it comes to writing your own voice to music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's me just like sitting here, finally have a nice bass, which I borrowed from my friend's brother that I'm working on, but like trying to get in that exact mindset you're talking about is like being aware of the bass or the drums and trying to be a true rhythm section, but also finding when do you follow the guitars, when do you not, how do you serve the song. It's completely different than how I've always thought as a guitarist, and I
Has to
really
be.
appreciate true bass players like you who are like, this is my thing, that's how my mind works, not just a guitarist, playing bass. It's
Yeah.
a totally different mindset.
Yeah, it's a different approach, and it will come across very heavily in the music too. You'll hear it, like sometimes the heaviness lies, oftentimes, most times, heaviness lies not in the notes that you are playing, but the notes that you choose not to. A little bit of
Mm.
silence really like will pull apart a riff and like give it that heaviness. You have to, as a bass player, I think that's part of our job
Yeah.
to hold them and when to fold them.
Yeah, because you can choose when to pull back and then come in, and you have all that low end power to make things heavier. So,
Yeah, I got to flex sometimes, but then when you sitting back is kind of a flex too, because your groove is a flex. Don't forget it, dude. Grooving is flexing. Yeah.
so how did you leave Havok in 2015, and then you joined Soulfly that same year? How did that come about?
Um, Times were turbulent in the Havoc camp, and it was just getting to be a bit too much. We were all living together. We were touring non-stop, dude. I feel like we were all just very burnt out. We were all living away from home at Dave's place in Denver, and between doing that and just being on tour constantly, and like not just like normal markets, we were going everywhere. We did a lot of Asia, Pacific Rim, Russia for the first time, very Eastern Europe. We South America we went to for the first time for a very ambitious tour. We did like almost a month in Mexico alone. So it was just like,
Oh, holy
and then
shit.
we'd come back, and it was just like all of us were kind of still on tour because we were living together. But it's just like now we all like had a toilet that we could, shit in, and then like our shower and stuff like that. So it was kind of just like we were around each other, probably too much, but it was necessary. The band is very successful, I would say, still, because that was like a hard road to pave, and we
Mhm.
did it. So I'm super proud of that. But like, yeah, when all that kind of came to a head, I had had enough of it, and we were bumping heads a bit too much, and um, chose to step away. And I was already kind of talking. I was doing a little bit of other work. We took 2015 like off. Everybody moved out of Denver and went back to our respective homes to take a break. And in the meantime, I was mixing a band called The Agonist. I was mixing front of house audio for them and kind of just touring wherever I could. I played bass in a band called Arsis for a moment that they needed, my buddy was kind of finishing his thesis in college, and he was like, "Hey, do you mind stepping in for this tour?" And I did it, and I got to play with Brandon Ellis, which was cool, and Sean Priest on drums and Jim Malone on guitar. I love Arsis. If you're not familiar with them, they are fucking shredders. Cannot be in that band without being a shredder. And we did a tour together, oddly enough, with Sepultura. It was Sepultura, Destruction from Germany, and Arsis. Uh, and on that tour, we went through Phoenix, and I had already toured with Soulfly when I was in Havok, and they live in Phoenix. So I ran into their manager in the parking lot of the venue, and he was like, "I knew I'd see you here." Went back to Max and Glow's place and had dinner with them. It was Mother's Day of all days. And Glow actually kind of asked, like, "Hey, we have a tour coming up at the end of the year, and we don't have a bassist. If you would like to fill in for that tour, we'd love to have you." And I was like, "Cool, absolutely." So she gave me the new album at the time. Was an album called, I forget it. It was before Ritual. I'm having a brain fart. But she gave me the new album, said, "Learn these singles, learn all these other songs." And then when the Havoc thing kind of died down and it was not happening anymore. I called Glow and I was like, "Hey, I'm fully available now. So, um, when do you want me to come out for that tour?" And she was like, "Well, we just need a bassist. Why don't you just come out now and be the bassist from now
Yeah.
on?" And I was like, "All right." And then a couple weeks later, I was on a plane to Phoenix, and I was living in the desert with Zion and all the rest of that tribe, and it was crazy.
Yeah, that's sick. I'm trying to remember the first time I heard them. I was early teens something, and they just like that they were part of that like new metal group of bands that, you know,
Big time.
just yeah, and I don't know, they just had that sound that you're right, the like the tribal sound. And then up to that point though, I think when you joined, they kind of switched gears a little bit. It's like a more straightforward metal sound.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, we did that album called Ritual with Josh Wilbur, and I think Josh's influence and maybe a little bit of new blood. You know, that would have been my second coolest record in the studio experience because we rented an Airbnb out here in Orange County,
Mhm.
and we recorded with Josh at his studio and like wrote the songs and recorded them in the studio every day. We worked Monday through Friday, like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., just cranking it out. And Josh Wilbur was like our cheerleader in the studio. Like, yeah, we wanted to do like Arise meets like Soulfly 1. And that was the energy we brought into that record. I'm very proud of that record. It was a good one.
Yeah, I
It
was
is
listening to that today. So the one before that was Archangel.
Archangel. That's right.
Archangel.
That's right. Very cool album. A lot of
Yeah,
cool songs on that one.
sick artwork on that too.
Yeah, very cool.
And then so you just hit the road with them, and you were doing that for the last what 10 years?
10 years. Yeah, we did all those tours. We did an album called Totem during COVID, which was crazy because none of us were ever in the same room at once. You know, I had to do phone calls with Max, like trying to figure out the riffs. Not phone calls, but like a video call,
Yeah,
and video calls with the producer as well, trying to be like, "Yo, when do we hold them? When do we fold them?" Kind of a vibe. And yeah, I recorded at my home studio in Tampa. I was living in Tampa at the time, and my buddy Joel Roche, excuse me, Joel Roche was engineering me and my tracks. We sent them out to Arthur Rizek, and he placed it all together, and that ended up becoming Totem, COVID album.
yeah. The COVID times were weird. Like
Yes.
how long of a hiatus was that for you guys?
Uh, we had been hitting it so damn hard that I was almost like praying for a long break. I was like, dude, please, like a year off would be so nice. Because I was juggling the Absence and Soulfly, and then I started working with Cavalera as well, doing the Beneath the Remains and Arise stuff, and it was just like back to back to back to back tours, and I was getting real burnt out, and then the whole world stopped turning for like
Yeah,
2.5 years, and I got my wish, but not as I intended, you know.
yeah.
Um, so that was
I
really
forgot you
crazy.
were with Absence still too during all like yeah, dude, that's crazy.
It was crazy. There was a point in my life, I think it was 2018, where I did three tours with three different bands in three different countries. It was the Absence in North America. Then I flew home, was home for less than 24 hours, flew out to Mexico to start a Cavalera run for like 2.5 weeks in South America, flew home for another less than 24 hours. And then I flew over to Europe and did like a 6 week tour with Soulfly starting in Poland. So within a 30-day period, I did three bands, three tours, three countries.
That is insane.
It was. I grew several gray hairs in that era of my life.
I bet you wouldn't have it any other way though. Like,
Oh, dude, looking back on that, I'm like super proud of that. Like that's not something that most people can brag on, I guess.
yeah. And to look back to that first tour with Black Dahlia and Red Chord and like what you
I
didn't
don't-
know and where you how far you've come.
yeah, that was really crazy. Yeah, that was about it was 2018. Yeah, that was about 10 years after I'd started.
And then what year did you leave Absence?
It was right after COVID. did another album during COVID. So I did the Soulfly album during COVID, and I also did the Coffinized album by The Absence. And that was like probably the album I've been most hands on, all aspects, like art direction, video direction, photography, musically, promotion, marketing, management. I did damn near everything that you could do. We all did. We all kind of came together on that one because we had nothing else to do. You
Yeah.
know, the world stopped turning, and we were like, well, fuck it. Let's use this time wisely. We all lived kind of close to each other, so we would just get together, the four of us, and we'd write the albums. And I brainstormed all the ideas for the music videos that would end up being coffinized. We did one for Choirs of Sickness. We did a couple lyric videos and stuff like that, but I promoted it all through my Twitch channel that I was doing at the time, and just raised a lot of hype for the album, and it did pretty well. And then I don't know, everything kind of went back to normal. And I don't know if you know this, but everybody else in The Absence, they also play in other bands as well. And at the time, Jeremy Kling, the drummer, was playing in Venom Inc. and he kind of got busy doing that again. And Taylor Nordberg was playing and writing in Deicide, and they had a band together too. And then I kind of went back to work with Soulfly and Cavalera, so the band kind of just, it had been around for a while. Coffinized was kind of like our last hurrah,
Mm.
as it were. So it was I think a good way to go out. They did an album without me, and it didn't really do too much. I think just folks had lost interest. I don't know. I wasn't a
Yeah.
part of it. I was just far too busy doing every other thing that I was doing at the time.
Right. Did you enjoy all that aspect of like handling everything?
Yeah, it was really cool to be hands on, and like making the calls, and ended up like from idea to fruition was like a really cool payoff.
Mm.
And then the whole process in between of like getting the phone calls, getting a budget together, figuring out like the logistics of it and stuff like that. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. And I think that's kind of why I enjoy my position as an artist relations, because it's like a lot of logistics, a lot of problem solving, a lot of solution orientation. Like it's a lot, but I like that. I like, it's like a puzzle, solving problems.
I've done a lot of the same stuff for our band since we returned, and I found that I really enjoyed it too. Because like for work and stuff, like I do video editing, social media, graphic design, marketing, all that kind of stuff. But it's always for someone else's company or something that I'm not really into. So I'm like, oh, the band got back together in 2023. And I'm the only one without kids, so I have the time. So I'll just dive in, and then ended up wearing all those hats. But it was really fun because it's like it's for something for me finally.
Yeah,
So
it is
that
rewarding, isn't it?
yeah, that just like reminded me of that, and like I really enjoyed it. It's like it's sometimes it's like overwhelming, but at the end of the day, you're like, wow, watching all of this come together from the graphics
Yeah,
and the phone calls and the emails and the videos and all that, like it's very fulfilling at the end of the day.
absolutely. When you're sitting there holding it, like, damn. That's what I'm saying. From idea to fruition is like a
Yeah,
hell of a journey, but one of the most rewarding ones I think you could do.
for sure. And then so coming up to the end of your run in Soulfly, like how did this transition out of there to CKY happen? And being in your favorite band.
Really crazy. Really crazy. Kind of like a similar situation. We had just been hitting the road a bunch, and I had been doing the Soulfly thing for 10 years, and I was kind of wanting to do something new. Um, we just moved, my wife and I had just moved out here to LA for a big change. So 2025 has been a big year of change. And we kind of orchestrated that on purpose because, you know, it's time. It was time for something new, new life. Who dis? Let's figure out something else that we can do. We've done what we've been doing to death. So we came out here, and the Soulfly thing had just kind of run its course. And we made like the idea to kind of just like go separate ways. I honestly didn't have any intention on playing with it, anybody. I kind of wanted to take like a little bit of a break
Mm.
because I've been doing this since I was 20 years old, and I kind of just shifted focus maybe a little bit. But like a few people had reached out in my DMs once the news broke, and I was like, yeah, 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 maybe if it's like the right thing, I will consider it. But right now, I'm kind of chilling and enjoying the chill. But then Chad reached out to me in my DMs, and I had known him. I've known Chad, a little bit of backstory. I'd known those guys since I was like 15. I had family in Philly. We were on a family vacation. I met a friend of a friend. My buddy Matt Centerbaum was making all the jewelry and bracelets and stuff for CKY. He made the heartogram hood ornament for Bam Margera that was on
Oh, sick.
MTV Cribs. And I met him, and he became like kind of like my sensei. He taught me a ton of stuff. I would go up there and visit my family and go visit him, and he'd take me over to Chad's house, and we'd just hang out. I got to know those dudes, and we always kept in touch. Chad was always like hitting me up and like, "Hey, dude, I saw your face in the PRP. Congrats on the new album," for like the Havok stuff. And then like my bass dropped, and he would reach out, and we were always kind of just like kind of keeping in touch loosely, seeing each other at shows. I'd go see CKY, so he hit me up in my DMs and was basically like, "Hey, what are you doing? We've got a couple of shows and tours coming up. Will you be interested?" And I was like, "Guess my break is over," you know. Like, but it's cool because, like I said, I wanted to make sure whatever I was doing next or now was something that I really wanted to do, and
Mm.
this falls completely in line with that thought process. Like, playing in my favorite band growing up, this music means a ton to me. If it wasn't for these guys, I don't think I would have ever gotten started playing music. Because I hung out with them so much, and they taught me the ropes, and I was like, shit, this is what I want to do. I want to be just like these guys. I want to grow up and play music. I want to tour the world. I loved the tunes. They shaped me very heavily, like musically, and how I approach like when I write stuff like that. So it just makes sense, dude, and it feels good. Like, it just feels good. It's like coming home, but for the first time. I just got here, but I feel like I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. I mean, their sound too, like you said earlier, is like I'd never heard anything like that the first time I heard it. They have like they have a little bit of a metal edge, but there's a rock vibe, kind of a stoner thing, and then the vocals, like I don't know, it's so different, and it still is to this day. And the nostalgia too from like watching the old CKY videos and then Jackass, and it just takes me right back to like
Yeah.
being a teenager. Like, what was that transition like coming out of such heavier bands to that?
It was a relief, honestly. It's true. It's a kind of a weird thing to say out loud. This is the first time I've like spoken about it truly. But like, everybody pins me as a metalhead. Like, I love metal for sure. Like, there's no, I mean, I'm wearing the Decapitated shirt right now. It doesn't get much more metal than that, but it's not what defines me. And like, I listen to so many other types of music that like metal, and like specifically death metal and stuff. Like, all the bands that I have been associated with is very small percentage of what I enjoy as a musician and a consumer of music. So being able to play in like a rock band, it's really cool. And I can say, like, honestly, learning all these songs and like the right way to learn it, when Chad sent me all these like bounced versions of just drum and bass, like relearning the songs that I've loved my whole life. They're so fun to play, dude. They're so fun to play. They're so busy. Like, now that I've played a couple shows with the guys, I used to have all this free time to like point at people and like do like things with my hands, with Soulfly, because they have like big breaks or like big chuggy parts or like open notes and stuff. I don't have time for that in CKY. I'm riffing the whole time, bro. The bass is so busy, and I love it. Keeps me super busy, and it's fun. So fun.
Yeah, fun is the perfect way to describe their riffs. The
Yeah.
first time I heard Bitter Beings, I was like, "What is that?" And the
Yeah.
guitar with like, does he use was it a pitch shifter or an octave? Or like, what is he using to get
Octave.
that?
Yeah.
Okay,
The octave.
because I use the EHX pitchfork. I almost stepped on it right now. I have it under my desk. And the first time I turned that on, I was like, ooh, that's the CKY sound.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the octave is a big part of their tone and stuff like that. But hearing the songs with like soloed out bass, this was kind of difficult for me actually, because I was used to hearing the guitar riffs all the time because they're so prominent and so like,
Mm.
in your face, that like listening to the bass, I'm like, oh damn, they're not playing that, you know. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's like learning the song for the first time, but I've heard it a million times.
Yeah. That is so weird when that happens because, like, you have it stuck in your head for the last 20 years of this is what I think's happening. And it's like, nope. So that's got to be a little
Wrong,
difficult. Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. It's been really super cool to work with Chad and like kind of hash out all these riffs. And he's always like, yeah, you can, if you find a place to like church it up, do it. Just stay in key
Mm.
and it's been really sick. Like we have a new single that's going to be coming out very soon.
Oh,
That's
no shit.
final stages of getting mixed right now. Yeah, new CKY. Who dis?
Fuck yeah. That's
It'll
awesome.
be really cool, and a music video that's fucking hilarious. So you're getting the scoop right now.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, dude. When did you say that's coming? It's just soon. There's no date yet.
Soon, soon, question mark, soon.
Fuck yeah. I'm stoked to hear it.
Yeah,
What, how has your gear setup changed switching to a rock band?
not at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Chad really loved my tone. I think my tone, it's heavy, but I have it super dialed in right now, and CKY calls for a very aggressive bass tone, which is my fucking forte.
Yeah.
I've been the same tone that I use. This is a crazy stat right here. I've used a very similar, very slightly modified tone from the bass that I used to record, the gear that I used to record the Totem album by Soulfly is almost damn near the same as the Igor Amen tone, which is damn near the same as the CKY live tone. Chad is a master at manipulating sound and music, and he went in and kind of cleaned up my patch a little bit because I use a quad cortex, and he
Yeah.
cleaned it up a bit and got rid of a bunch of nonsense. And yeah, it sounds very CKY, but it still sounds me. It's super cool. Like what a clash, bringing worlds together. I still have like it's still like, oh, that's Mike, but it's like, but something's different, but I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of a more perfect person to take on the role given your style. You were a fan of the band, you knew the guys, and yeah, like you said, it's like an aggressive bass tone for this band is perfect too. So
Yeah,
you check all the boxes, I'd say.
sign me up.
How long have you been using the quad? I got one last year and I love it. I'm still learning.
So sick, and it's always gonna be having something to teach you because they keep releasing like cool new stuff. Like they just did the Parallax update, so if you use like the Neural DSP like standalone or the DAW like
Yeah.
when you're recording, now the Parallax is in the quad cortex, and that was the tone that we just used for this West Virginia festival. So when I played with at Warp Tour, it was like the one that I had been using. But
Mm.
now when I went down to Nashville and worked with Chad for a few days in pre-production, we started everything from scratch. He built me a whole like CKY from scratch tone. And it, like I said, it still sounds like me, but it's like CKY.
That's sick. Yeah, I have so much
Cortex
to
is
learn
sick
with
to
it.
answer your question. It's too sick.
Yeah. I built my first like chain of things and then I'm like, this sounds pretty good. I know it can be better. I have no idea what I'm doing. I look up YouTube videos and people have shit going everywhere. And I'm like, are they doing too much or am I doing way not enough? Because mine does not look like that.
I think there's a lot of like oversaturation going on. Everybody's like, "Well, I can do it." And it's like, just because you can doesn't mean you need to. It's more the music calls for it. You can get like I could get the same results if I had every single block in my chain filled up, or I could simplify it, use the parallax, and have like one single chain.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Parallax is
just it
sick.
has every capability, dude. It's really insane.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. I was recommended Parallax by a friend, and I tried it out. And I'm an amateur engineer mixer, and I was like, "Whoa, this is just perfect!" Like, and then I got Mantra too for vocals, which is amazing.
There you go. That's
So,
cool. I haven't even done that. I don't do. I forgot that you could put vocals through the quad too.
oh,
I've never
I'm
done.
not through the quad. I mean, like the standalone Mantra on Logic. I'm using that too, and Parallax.
Look at
So I
you.
got one thing for replace my chain for vocals, one for bass. Like, so keeping things as simple as
So
possible.
much, dude. There's so many options, man. It's like overwhelming, and that's why I kind of just like I've got my tone. People seem to like it. I think it's pretty cool. I leave it alone.
Yeah, time to just play bass and have fun.
Time to just riff, dude. Get some riffs in there.
Well, at the end of every episode, I always do a rapid fire round of questions, mostly stupid, fun shit. So if you'll indulge me in that, we can rip through these.
Give it to me.
All right. Dream artist to collab with outside of metal.
Oh, uh, that's a hard one. My mind is like racing right now.
And it
Outside of
doesn't
metal.
doesn't actually have to be rapid fire because it never is. So take your
Yeah,
time.
I'm very unrapid right now. Uh, to collab with, shoot, I would, I would say, I mean, since I'm already playing in CKY, that would have been probably an answer, but that's can't do that anymore. Um, I don't know. There's this electronic artist that's called One O Tricks Point Never, and it's really weird stuff. And I would love to like produce a track, but then have them like co-produce it, and it's like really glitchy and like really crazy. I think that would be really insane. It's like kind of on a similar vein of like how Gautier does Igor stuff, where it's really glitchy and crazy, like the earlier Igor albums. It's
Okay,
very similar to that. Very
that's
choppy,
sick.
very crazy. Yeah, I'm
How do you
very.
spell it again? That was a
Let
wild
me.
name.
Let me. I know. I know. Let me get my Spotify. I listen to this on a daily basis. Um, it's Oneohtrix point Point never. It's
Point never.
insane. It's like it's kind of like there's some songs with vocals, but most of it's just kind of like ambient madness. No two songs are the same, but at the same time he does have like a signature way of producing. I love it. I listen to it when I'm doing my Enki emails all day. I listen to that because it's like kind of keeps me like attentive but still not focused, if that makes
Right.
any sense.
I think so. That I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I part of the reason I love doing this is I get so many bands I've never heard of suggested to me, so I always make a note to check them out afterwards.
I
Uh,
guess the second place answer would be like, I don't know, Queens of the Stone Age. I think it would be, I've always had a dream that I was going on stage to play Queens of the Stone Age. And then I get up there and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then they do the count to four. And I'm like, cool. I don't know how to play any Queens of the Stone Age songs. And that's my dream. It's like the equivalent of like standing up in class in your underwear. But that's
I was just gonna say that dream where you're
musician, dude.
naked in school and
Yeah.
you
He like
you
puts the
can't find
bass on
anywhere to
me and
go.
I'm like, yeah, let's go. Fucking big festival. And I go up there and it's like, and I'm like, oh shit,
Like
that's right.
wait,
I have no idea how to play this. I don't
we
know.
never
Wing it.
practiced.
Yeah.
I've had that nightmare multiple times when we got back together. It was like we were gonna go play the show, and it's like, wait, we didn't relearn anything. It's been 15 years.
I should probably get back into the woodshed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question. What's your go-to rainy day or sick day movie?
Oh, rainy day or sick day. I really love this movie called Big Fish. You ever seen it? With Ewan McGregor?
Yeah, it's pretty old, right? I remember that
It's
movie.
yeah, it's not like ancient, but it's not young
Yeah, yeah.
either. It's a really cool movie about, and it's long too, which is like a good rainy day or sick movie. It's just about like a small town dude who's got too much ambition for his situation, and he kind of just goes on an adventure and makes the most out of life. And I kind of like, there's a little bit of me, I feel like, in that story. It's very grandiose, but it's a cool watch. It's like a fairy tale almost. It's very supernatural in ways, but like it's really
Yeah,
if you guys haven't heard that movie or seen it, I suggest it. Very good movie.
I can picture the cover right now. I remember yeah, it looked like kind of fantasy. Like I think I saw it once, but I'll have to see it again. I'll add it to my
Check it out
list as well.
and text me.
Yeah, for
Damn, this
sure.
movie is sick. It's got a ton of cameos too, like Steve Buscemi's in it for a second, and I can't think of all the names. I'm gonna actually go rewatch it. I've never watched it with my wife, so I'd like to watch it with her. It is one of my favorite movies.
Who is the lead in it?
Ewan McGregor.
Oh yeah, you said that. Duh. My brain isn't working either.
I'm amazed that my brain worked for that name, to be honest. That just goes to show you how much I like that movie.
All right. Hardest CKY song to learn.
For me, it might have been this song Afterworld that they did for Jackass. It was a single that they released just for the credits, I believe, in Jackass or some part of the, but it's really fucking busy. Super busy, super fun on bass. I kind of like didn't, it wasn't my most familiar song, so I had to like listen to it a lot to kind of learn the flow
Mm.
of the song. But then once I started learning the bass riff, I was like, fuck, this is fun, dude. It was super fun. Like that one or like Flesh into Gear has got a pretty crazy stretch and
Yeah,
it's really busy. It doesn't there's no breaths. You know, can't take a breath in that song. It's just notes and
I
riffs the whole damn time.
I love that one. What was the other one I was listening to earlier today that I wasn't quite as familiar with, but it was really really cool melody. Disengage the Simulator. Do you guys
Classic.
play that?
First album. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like a headliner set song.
Okay.
We just played that in West Virginia for the first time with me and one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Big
really
time.
cool vibe. It's different.
Yeah, very different. That first album was so cool because not one song sounds the same from the
Yeah.
other. They're all different. Like Human Drive and Hi-Fi sounds like a disco rock song, and then it's like that's the same album that has 96 Quite Bitter Beings, and you've got like Rio Bravo, which is like heavy as hell. I love that album.
Yeah, it's great. It's so weird in the best way.
Yeah,
All right. Weirdest fan interaction you've ever had.
I don't know. I could say weirdest. Shoot, let me try to find a good one. I don't know. Fans lose themselves when they're in front of somebody that they look up to, completely. Like they act a fucking mess. But let me see, weirdest fan. I mean, I signed a bunch of weird stuff. I signed a prosthetic leg once. I signed a cardboard cutout of this short. I don't remember. I don't remember his name. Weird. Fan interactions are really weird. Like when they come up to you and they like can't look at you, they're like, uh, hey, or they want you to sign like 30 fucking CDs and albums and posters, and they're just like, and this one. And I'm like, oh, cool. And this one. Oh, yeah, sick. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is a rare one. Yeah, sick. And I'm like, okay, 10 down. I'm like, uh-huh. What?
You're going to sell these, aren't you?
Uh-huh. I'm looking on eBay, motherfucker. I'm watching you. I don't know. Nothing really weird. I guess, okay, here's a good one. It wasn't really like a person, like a one-on-one interaction, but I had all of my stage clothes, which you are a touring musician. You know how stage clothes can get.
Yeah.
We were touring in Europe, and it was on a Havok Skeleton Witch tour, and we played some place in Germany, but it was like 2 or 3 weeks into the tour. And as you may know, doing laundry in Europe isn't necessarily like an easy thing or something that takes less than 3 to 5 hours. So I hadn't been washing my stage clothes. I was wearing the same, I was a decapitated shirt. And I had to get this one to replace the one from this story. You'll find out why. But it was a decapitated shirt and like a really dirty pair of jeans, bro. Like I'm talking about them suckers could stand up by themselves if you just let them go. And my socks and my undies and just like everything was like my stage gear. And I had hung it over a fence that was the bus was parked next to. And we went inside of the dressing room and we were having some beers and smoking and shit. And I come out and somebody had stole my whole rig.
Oh no.
Sweaty undies, socks, all of it gone. So that was like, and I don't know why somebody would want that. Hopefully they were a fan. I don't know. Maybe they made a voodoo mannequin out of it. Maybe there's like a mannequin in Germany that's like wearing my exact outfit somewhere. I don't know. The mind only knows, it wanders. So that was pretty weird.
Well, they paid for it with the smell.
Oh yeah. They made their bed,
That and prosthetic leg is a great one.
Yeah, somebody crowd surfed the fucking prosthetic leg up to the front of the stage. And I was like looking into the crowd. I was like, what the fuck is this? And the guy was like, sign it. Sign, like way in the back, like, sign it. Yeah. And I was like, all right. I've signed several, I've gotten my few folks have my signature tattooed on them also, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, that's
even from Havok days and the Soulfly days. Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's next level past the autograph, like to have someone's
Permanent
name on you for
fucking autograph. Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. I may know the answer to this one already since I know you use a quad, but I was going to say, what is one piece of gear you could not live without?
My signature ESP MLB4, of course. Why not? That's the only answer. Available in stores worldwide.
I need to get a sound bar. That's
I use a Roadcaster. I got this one too. I love.
My man.
And then like the glitchy.
My man.
Rick and Morty. You know that
was
episode?
that from? No,
Yeah.
I've never got deep into that show, but I know I need to.
Please do. It's fucking hilarious. Like when I've streamed on Twitch, all of these little sound bits that I have are like, just references to the stream, and we made it like a kind of like a viral thing in our little community. I got Scott Carstairs from Fallujah right here.
Gleam, gleam, gleam.
That's like his thing. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I need to get into Rick and Morty. Everyone says it's amazing for years, and I've been sleeping on it.
Hell yeah. I love that show. It's fucking hilarious.
All right. Who is a bass player that does not get enough credit?
Erland Kasparson, the other bass player that plays with Igor. He's done like a ton of really killer stuff, like the first few Blood Red Throne albums. He's a monster, dude. All the crazy like circus music Igor songs that are like singles and stuff, that's all Erland. And like Very Noise, that's like a big song from Igor, that's Erland. He's a freak, dude. Like he's an absolute freak of nature. He plays bass like no other person I've ever heard, which is a fucking compliment because I've listened to a lot of them.
Well, everybody check that shit out.
Yeah, go check out Erland. He's fucking insane.
All right. Nerdiest thing that you're into outside of music that no one would expect?
I don't know. I mean, I play a ton of video games, but everybody probably, that's not so like shocking. I don't know. I'm trying to find like something super weird. I'm looking around my room like, what do I do? I don't know. I collect like tour stuff. That's pretty normal. I guess I'm a kind of a normal guy. I'm a normal guy. I don't know. I play
What kind of games do you play?
Video games. Right now I'm playing Silk Song, the new Hollow Knight version 2.
I don't even know what that is.
Like a Castlevania, like Metroidvania kind of a side scroller adventure thing. The first version of it was just called Hollow Knight, and it came out like 8 years ago. It's on Steam, and now the new one just came out last weekend, and I'm fucking addicted to it. It's so good. Like I'm 5 hours in, and I can't wait till I'm 10 hours in, 20 hours in. I'm gonna play it as soon as I get off this call right now.
I'll probably go play something too. I'm an Xbox casual, so I don't play on PC. But Helldivers just dropped on Xbox, so I just got into.
Never
that.
got into them. It looks sick. I was an Xbox guy. I've done all iterations, man. I love games, man. I'm a big Diablo fan, and this is a Mephisto from Diablo 2.
Oh,
Act
sick!
3, the Lord of Hatred.
That's
I'm a
awesome.
big gamer, man. Big gamer.
I have no gaming tattoos. Actually, that's a lie. I have one. We had a clan called GAD that I got with a shield on my finger, and I was the only one who ever got it. But now we're all old, and we can barely get anyone to play, like maybe a couple times a year. But yeah, games are what's up. I'm huge into survival games. Anything I can build a base and be a hermit in the woods. Love that
Yeah,
stuff.
I was a big Fallout dude. I guess that's kind of on the same vein. I loved Fallout. Played hours and hundreds of hours of that game.
Did you get
I
into
like it all.
76?
No, I skipped that one.
Yeah, it was good to skip it until now. The updates they did to it now, if you jumped in, are pretty sick.
Cool.
It
Yeah,
was
of
a
course,
broken
when the
mess.
show came out, I replayed all of 3, except I like cheated this time because I've played it so many times without that. I was just like, I'm not ready to put 200 hours into this thing. Let me just like take the fucking quick road.
Yeah.
I did some cheats and fucking like shooting the mini nukes out of a mini gun and all that fun stuff. Fallout 4 too. I did the same thing, kind of just like a cheater. Fucking.
Would you like
trick
3 or
for
4
fun.
better?
I like 4. It's really smooth, and the part that made me think of it was how you can build a base. I love that.
Yeah.
Like I loved going to 4. My favorite place to build a base was the movie theater, the drive-in, because it's just like
yeah.
you could clear that whole thing out and just do whatever you want. I made like a giant flying fortress with like rocket turrets down there. Couldn't even get up there, dude.
Yeah, I love Bethesda games. I couldn't get into Starfield as much, but Skyrim, I probably never put more hours into any game in history.
Proof. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm a big Skyrim guy. Yeah, I like all that stuff, man. I've been a huge gamer. Huge. I mean, just the other day I was playing. My Nintendo Switch has I do the Nintendo Online, so it's got the N64 like ROM mod whatever. And I was playing Mario 64 just like it was 1996 again. Loving it.
Fuck yeah. I would love to go back and play all the old wrestling games from the late 90s. WCW, NWO Revenge. I forget what my favorite. Oh, WWF No Mercy. Like, I don't think they've made better wrestling games since those.
I never played those, but I used to watch my buddies play them and stuff. I never really got too much into wrestling, but I was into video games, so that's where
Yeah.
the crossroads.
Yeah, I watched it a lot as a kid, took a long break, got back into it like 2018. So I'm a big wrestling fan again, but it's way different now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. All right. So last one of these, the name of the podcast is called Riff Tacos because of how often we eat Taco Bell on the road as a band making no money. And that's all we had money for. So I always ask everyone, do you remember in your heyday what your go-to Taco Bell order was on the road?
Oh, dude. 2 Mexican pizzas. Easy. 2 Mexican pizzas, maybe a couple crunchy tacos. I would house them shits, dude. Especially in the Havok days. Like, there was an absence tour, actually, that we did where all of us, like, we were broke as hell, dude. And I think the food budget for the day for 5 people was $25. So we just lived on Taco Bell, like dollar crunch wrap burrito or whatever the hell it was called. Burrito crunch with the Fritos in it. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
I would house like 4 of them suckers real quick.
Yeah. Ours was the same. I think
Taco
we
Bell
got
now.
I think we got $5 a day. So that, yeah, it would be 5 people. And
Hell yeah.
you could do that back then though. Now you get the same shit at Taco Bell. It's like $20.
Like, I'll give you a crunchy taco for $5. Like, fuck. Just give me a bunch of sauce, just sauce it up. Man, they don't even have the Verde sauce anymore.
They don't?
Button for that. They unverde'd. Maybe they got like wise and they're like, let's bring back the verde. They got rid of the Mexican pizza, and I was getting ready to just revolt.
Didn't they bring it
That
back?
didn't last long. Yeah, fuck yeah, they brought it back. Fuck
Yeah, they're gonna hear from the people when they change that menu. It's been the same forever.
They were about to find my fucking heavy fist. Like, I'm gonna go in there and fucking flip tables over. You got the ingredients, whip it up, dude.
Yeah, everything's the same 5 ingredients in a different shape.
Oh,
that's why it's awesome.
Fucking taco shell and just let me get to work, dude. I love them. I want a Mexican pizza right now.
Dude,
I would eat it in less than a minute. I guarantee you.
I was gonna cook dinner after this. Maybe I'll go to Taco Bell too. Then we'll play some games.
Talk my wife into it. Yeah, I know. You got like the rest of your day like ready. You can go get some Taco Bell, play some games, and then cozy up and watch Big Fish.
Perfect. But I totally forgot about that movie. I may have only seen it once when it came out. It's been like, was that like 10 years ago? 12? I don't know.
Probably more than that. Than that. Check it out, dude. It's really cool. I'm sure it's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
or somewhere. It's somewhere for sure. Really good movie.
Awesome. I definitely will. I've been jonesing for a good movie lately. I just watched every John Wick again, and
shit.
I'll find like a movie and get into it, and I'm like, I have to watch the rest, even if I don't like the sequels. That's just completionist.
Dude, my wife and I too. We just recently got into and finished Mr. Robot, which is an older show, and it was so sick, but it got real boring. I've never fallen asleep more during a show in my life. You know, I think there was times where we both like passed out, and like Netflix does that thing where it just keeps playing. Yeah, and we'd be like, "Where were we? What? I don't remember that. What? We gotta go back like 3 episodes and fast forward and rewind and figure. Oh yeah, I kind of remember that."
I remember that show started really strong, and then I was super stoked, and then same thing. I lost interest. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
That's not where I thought this was going to go.
For me.
Yeah.
God. Super cool show. Lately, her and I, we've been like one-shotting all of these crazy Netflix documentaries, like the one when the chick in high school gets like all the crazy text messages. Have you seen?
Oh,
you know?
No, I've been told to watch it. Yeah,
it's fucked. I can't literally say anything about it because the I guess the big spoiler happens like relatively early, but it's like such a mind fuck. You're like, wait a second, like in the middle they tell you like what's happening, and then there's still like 45 minutes later of like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you should watch that one. That one's super fucked. Oops, I just kicked my camera. What else did we watch? We watched Trainwreck about American Apparel.
Oh, what's that about?
Cult. It's like the owner of American Apparel was a fucking psycho, and like he was super ambitious and like also kind of like hella cult leadery and got really weird. Yeah, it's a good one. It's not as shocking as the chick with the text messages.
Yeah, what's that one called? Something number? Not wrong number.
Unknown number. Unknown number is fucking insane.
I saw everyone going off on Facebook about it, and I was like, I'm going to try not to see spoilers. So
my wife does a lot of TikTok, and so she's like, I'm like, what are we watching tonight? And she's like, oh, here, this fucking mind fuck of a show. And we'll sit down and like sit at dinner and be like, yeah, we've been watching this. Like, how long is this? It's like, let's watch a little bit and then like, pick it up later. But then we end up just sitting there by the end of it, just like, look at you like, what the fuck just happened? Like, Netflix has got some fucking gas right now.
They do, dude. They're crushing it. What was it? Oh yeah. So before we go, I started a Riff Tacos official Spotify playlist. So I ask every guest to contribute one song. It could be anything, any band, anything that inspired you or means something to you, or just whatever.
Well, let's get an eclectic mix going in here. I would like to submit the most recent Igor single, Headbutt. It's really crazy. Yeah. Got a cool music video too.
When did that drop?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm going to do a playthrough. I have like a in the studio behind the scenes playthrough video that we're all going to collab on and post on Wednesday. So that'll go live.
Fuck yeah.
on the 10th for whoever is watching. I don't know how quickly this goes out, but
This will be out
Keep that.
next Monday, I don't know, what is that? The 15th. Okay. Yeah.
it'll be out by then, so you guys can go check it out.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, everybody go watch that. Um,
Crazy.
yeah, dude. Well, I really, really appreciate your time and thank you very much for coming on. This was awesome. It was great to meet you and get to know you a little bit. Is there anything else you'd like to let people know about before we get out of here?
Well, first of all, likewise, thank you for having me on. It was great chatting with you. Killer questions also, which is always a refreshing.
Appreciate
But
it.
check out the new Igor album, Amen, on Metal Blade Records. It's dropping on, I believe, the 18th of September or the 19th. I probably should know that, but go check that out. It's fucking crazy. You're gonna love it. We also have a new single from CKY that will be coming out very soon too, and I can't say more than that, but go check that out when it happens. And yeah,
And
lots
music
of stuff
video.
on the horizon. Yeah,
got
and the
me
music
stoked.
video is gonna. Yeah, nobody, dude. Everybody loves a good CKY music video, but nobody is gonna expect what's in this one.
Oh, I'm
It's fucking
stoked.
sick. It's
You
very
got me
fucking
excited.
funny.
Looking forward to it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all for listening with us. If you don't already, you can follow Mike on Instagram at Mike Leon Shreds, and obviously CKY Music is their Instagram. If you're enjoying the podcast, please consider subscribing, hit like on the episode, leave a comment with your thoughts. If you're on Spotify or Apple, you can hit me with a follow there, and please leave a rating. I would appreciate it very much. So thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.